In this series, we're covering the top 15 real estate investment strategies, and now we are on number 4, which was to live in and then rent. Hey guys, welcome back to Lauren's Reality. I am Lauren. Surprise, surprise. So when I'm going to live in a property and then rent it, that means I'm gonna live in it now, rent it later. This is a way to bridge the gap or try to get my feet closer or farther into building a rental portfolio. And all it does is just gives me more time. So it allows me to live in the property, kind of get my feet underneath me, save up some money maybe to go into my next property, or get to a point where I'm preparing to debt snowball, as we're going to talk about later in the series. And this will allow me to make a transition from it being my primary residence to a rental property. And then I do the same thing over and over and over again. You want to be familiar with a few things here, and this one's a pretty short list. Overall, this is a more basic strategy, but the numbers are still vitally important. So I need to know, what will that property rent for after the fact? So before I buy it as my primary residence, is it a viable rental property? Is my debt servicing or my mortgage payment going to balance out with what I can bring in rent with my expenses considered, my taxes, my insurance, my capital expenditures, so like what I'm gonna have to spend on the property and maintenance and all of those things while I own it? Do all of those numbers balance out? And you can't know that unless you know what you can bring in and rent once you rent it out. If your numbers work in that scenario and that's your long-term plan, make sure that you have some form of exit strategy. And this I'm gonna beat into your head in every single series that we go through. Everything is about an exit strategy. So best laid intentions a lot of times don't work out. So if in a particular situation you had intended to live in it and then rent it later, and for whatever reason the rental market wasn't doing well, you tried to put it on the market, it wasn't renting, you've already moved out of it, you need to have a contingency plan. Whether that's you can maybe resell the property, do some form of owner financing, move back into the property somehow, but you always need to know if then when. If this happens, then I'm going to do something else. So make sure that you're protected there and that you really understand your financing. And if you're gonna try to debt snowball, like we're talking about later, that you know that your financing can handle that. Other than that, connect with your local professionals so you understand your market. And of course, keep coming back. We're gonna keep going through this list in the series. Let us know if you have any questions. And subscribe to our channel, of course. Hit the bell to make sure that you get notifications, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.